Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court with Krissy. If there's one thing the guys on today's docket have in common, it's if they're the last men on earth, I'm officially a lesbian. Right, Linda? I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
From the front of the court this morning. The matter was scheduled for mediation at 8:30. It's now 9 a.m. The present is Attorney Alex Goldman, representing the plaintiff Kendra Malice. Ms. Malice is present. Sir, are you Justin Malice?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Malice and Mr. Goldman, have the parties reached their own agreement this morning?
Only to attend another mediation. Mr. Malice recently acquired counsel who was unable to be here this morning, so we are going to mediate again with the assistance of his attorney.
We have a one-year marriage. Mr. Malice, there's no attorney appearance. This court will not adjourn this matter. I'm ordering you to engage. This has been scheduled for some time. The court mailed out this notice on May 31st. We're not going to play games, Mr. Malice. The court has not received the courtesy of a phone call from an attorney. There's no appearance. Mr. Goldman, have you received the notice from an attorney?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, this has been scheduled. These are valuable time slots, Mr. Malice. We just can't play games here. So I'm going to order you to continue mediation. Get to your attorney on the phone. I mean, he should be here. It's a one-year marriage. There's no real estate. You've got a fee waiver. Did Mr. Malice pay the fee waiver of the $255? Mr. Malice,
Your Honor, I have since lost my job since the last time we were here in court.
I'm asking you whether you paid it or not.
No, Your Honor, I have not.
Okay, so that needs to be addressed in the judgment. And there's personal property, custody and parenting time. So the party has been separated since January. What items of personal property are in dispute? So I'm going to, Mr. Walker, good morning. I'm going to have you meet with the parties. Mr. Malice, if you want an attorney, you call him right now. Tell me he needs to zoom in. We're going to mediate this matter this morning.
Okay, give me a moment, please.
There are, well, I'm not going to waste Mr. Walker's time. It's scheduled 8:30. Mr. Walker has a very busy schedule today. Did Mr. Malice zoom out?
He went to call his attorney.
Okay. All right. He just, I don't know if he calls attorney, but I mean, this is a pretty simple matter, isn't it, Mr. Goldman?
Your Honor, I think the custody and parenting time issues are going to be contentious.
Okay. What's been the practice over the last 7 months?
The children have been in Miss Malice's exclusive care, and Mr. Malice has not attempted to see them.
Well, that's right there. That gives you a pretty good idea. If he's not filed a petition for parenting time.
I agree, Your Honor. I was, I'll look forward to hearing what his attorney has to say.
All right. Mr. Malice, were you able to reach your attorney?
No, my attorney is on bed rest. He just got out of surgery for a heart valve. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get him on the phone right now.
All right. Again, all right, I'm gonna have you talk with Mr. Walker. It sounds like personal property is not really an issue. Mr. Malice, where'd you go? Well, what items of personal property are in dispute? I mean, it sounds like from Mr. Goldman, it's primarily custody parenting time. The court has been informed you've not made any effort to petition the court for parenting time. So it appears pretty clear in terms of what the court's going to look at in terms of custody parenting time. What's happened in the last 7 months? What's happened since you separated? So with that, talk with Mr. Walker. Let's see if we put the proofs on the record today, and let's move forward. And you can also give the court a date when we come back in terms of when you can pay that $255 filing fee. Ms. Malice is still on public assistance. Is that correct, Mr. Goldman?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're gonna have you go back into meet with Mr. Walker again. Mr. Walker, if you don't mind, talk with the parties a little bit further this morning. I'll be available all morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Sarah,
Yes.
will you please put the parties in separate rooms? We're going to mediate in separate rooms.
Okay. Here we go.
And good afternoon, I'm Mr. Tolan.
Hi. Hi, ladies.
Sir, we are Thank you. We're on the record in case number 24-2540 FY. Sir, you're appearing for arraignment purposes this afternoon. You're appearing with Ms. Claxton, the defense attorney available through the Indigent Defense Council, here to assist you. And Ms. Claxton, did you have opportunity to review the allegations on the complaint, nature of the offenses, and possible maximum penalties with Mr. Tolan?
I did, and we'll waive a formal reading. He'll be requesting court-appointed counsel.
In order to complete a petition for court-appointed attorney, I need to place you under oath and ask you some questions. Mr. Tolan, would you please raise your right hand? And you swear that the information you're about to give me will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you. And you will to lower your hand. Mr. Tolan, what's your phone number? Mailing address, please.
222 Cass Road, Traverse City.
Do you have an email address?
Yes.
Are you currently employed?
No, I'm not, but I plan on getting a job.
Do you receive any source of income or assistance?
I am going to get food assistance.
Do you own a vehicle?
No.
Where are you currently residing?
I am currently homeless, but I love this city. I do not want to leave this city. I love this. I am in love with this city of Traverse City. I'm new here. I don't have a phone, but it's really profound, what is available in this city.
Do you have any money in a checking account, savings account, any cash on hand, or any digital currency?
I may have some money because I had a job at Bear Lake, and I may have I should have my last check. So I just have to get that worked out. But I don't have a phone, so it's hard to do that. But I would like to get a job at Cone Drive right here in Traverse City.
So we will appoint an attorney for you.
Thank you.
I'm going to remind you that you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say orally or in writing can be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questioning, and if you could not afford an attorney, the court would appoint one at public expense. You have the right to have the attorney present during all subsequent court proceedings. You have the right to a preliminary examination. In this case, it would be scheduled for August 13th. It would be at 11 a.m. with Judge Stepka. Also, on August 7th, you would have a probable cause conference at 2 p.m.
Okay.
Ms. Claxton, is there information that you would like me to know regarding bond?
Yes, thank you. We did have a chance to review the praxis. So in addition to what's noted in the praxis, he did inform me that he wants the court to know that he does have a mother who lives in Onekama who he could potentially stay with if that's necessary, and he would still be able to make it back for his court dates. And then as indicated, he also stated that he would be seeking employment if he were able to get out on bond. Thank you.
We also have Ms. Henry from the prosecutor's office. Ms. Henry, is there information that you would like the court to know regarding bond?
Thank you, Your Honor. You know, our concern here is the defendant indicated that he's new to the area, don't know where he came from or how long he's been here, but we have now in just, I think, 3 or 4 days, he has picked up 3 charges. And there's a 4th that's pending from early July. Obviously, I think in at least 2 of them, he was intoxicated. The concern here is that he was intoxicated and he went into a random stranger's home because he was hungry. That is very scary and concerning.
I won't do it again.
That he did that.
Mr. Tolan,
So I
please
guess
go to talk.
I just don't know, given the amount of, he's homeless, he's not from the area, he's continuing to rack up charges. I just think at this point, there needs to be some type of a cash bond. We need something to ensure the public safety at this point.
So the court's information is that you were released on July 10th with an interim bond, and the charges in that case were for resist and obstruct and operating under the influence of drugs. You were arrested on the 14th of July and released on July 22nd on an interim bond for larceny. These are all allegations, they are charges, but times that you've been in contact with police officers in this area. You were arrested on July 24th and released on July 25th for an assault, a disorderly, and a resist and obstruct. So the allegations that you have assaultive charges, that you've had operating under the influence of drugs, that you also had a larceny of some sort that's been alleged. Again, these are all forthcoming, but all contacts with police officers in this area. At the time of your arrest in this case, you were a 0.13, although you indicated to the pretrial services that you were 4 months sober. I
Well,
believe you do pose, hold on. I need to mute you. You need not to say anything, please. I believe that you do pose a risk to public safety. Walking into a stranger's home is certainly a very dangerous thing to do. And that in a very short period of time, you've been in contact with law enforcement way too often. No ties to the area, you're homeless and unemployed. You would be using 222 Cass as your mailing address. I believe that you do pose a risk for failing to appear as well. So in this case, Mr. Tolan, your bond is going to be a $25,000 cash or surety bond. Conditions on the bond are that you may not use nor possess any alcohol, any illegal substance, any controlled substance, including marijuana, any mind or mood altering substances, or any non-prescribed medication. You will provide a list of your current prescriptions to the district court clerk. You will submit to daily PBTs proving you're not drinking. You would also submit to an immediate urine screen and 4 times per month urine screens hereafter. You may not enter a bar, casino, or any place that serves alcohol by the glass. You may not use nor possess any weapons of any sort. You will have no threatening, intimidating, harassing, or violent behavior towards any person, and you will be respectful of all court employees and care providers during the course of your case. You may not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license, registration, and insurance, nor with the presence of any alcohol, any illegal substance, or any controlled substance, even that which might be prescribed to you. Ms. Claxton, do you have any questions, ma'am?
No questions, thank you.
Well, you should hear from your court-appointed attorney by the 1st of next week. Once again, your preliminary examination, the next time that you will appear in court is August 13th, 11 a.m. with Judge Stepka. And Ms. Henry, is there anything further from the people?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
For right now, Mr. Tolan, you are all set, sir.
Maurice D'Angelo Robinson.
Hey, Mr. Robinson, you have 2 files in front of me.
Okay.
On case number 240-584-9801 and case number 240-584-9701, both people versus Maurice Robinson, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. Brandon Bird on behalf of Maurice Robinson. My client waives his right to the formal reading, will devise his constitutional rights, and will stand mute.
Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived. Enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. In terms of bond, let's deal with the CCW first. Seeing no assaultive risk just on the basis of that charge, that one will be a $5,000 personal bond, unless you object.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, then we'll go to the other case, this one involving allegations of felonious assault. I'll hear your argument as to bond there.
You give me
Sorry,
one
let me do
moment.
court dates on the, court dates on the CCW. August 6th for probable cause conference, August 13th for preliminary examination. Going to be in front of Judge Robbins on August 6th, Judge Giles on the 13th. You're not to purchase or possess any firearms or other dangerous weapons during the course of your bond in that case. All right, and we'll go to the other case.
19-year-old lifelong resident, Your Honor, indicates to us that he lives with his mother. He has a pending landscaping job right now, but unfortunately he's unemployed. And any amount of bond is going to be like a remand to my client, Your Honor. He plans on going back to high school. I would state the high school, but we're on YouTube, and I'd rather not put his information out there. But he does plan on finishing high school, Your Honor. Going back this year. Respectfully, I do understand these are assaultive allegations, but my client understands that there's going to be no contact with the complaining witness. That he's going to have to he's going to have to stay away from the complaining witness, and he has adequate family background, which will take care of him and wants to see him through this case. And respectfully, we're going to ask this court potentially for a personal bond. Of course, not inclined to a personal bond, then a reasonable or low 10% bond seen fit by the court, even though him or his family wouldn't be able to afford that, Your Honor.
Bond is set at $25,000 personal. However, given the assaultive nature of the allegations coupled with the CCW case we just had, there is going to be a GPS tether with full house arrest until a judge says otherwise. Yep, happy summer. You can take this up with the next judge you see. Next court date, August 7th for probable cause conference, August 14th for preliminary examination. You might want to hear your bond conditions.
Your Honor, I believe the officer might have called him back. I don't think he tried to walk off on him.
August 7th, probable cause conference, August 14th, preliminary examination. No contact with the complainant in this case. No verbal contact, no written contact, no contact with third parties or social media. Any attempted contact will be considered a violation of the conditions of your bond, and you are not to purchase or possess any firearms or other dangerous weapons during the course of your bond. All right. That's it.
Robert Blazing?
Hello, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. You're Mr. Blazing?
Yeah, Mr. Blessing.
Blessing, my apologies. Mr. Blessing, you're here because Judge George issued a warrant for your arrest when you failed to show up for a bench trial last week. I think it was last week.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a jury trial, and I honestly got marked the wrong date on my calendar for that. But I did apply for public assistance, so that way I can get a therapist and health care, because originally I missed my original court date because I had COVID about a year or two ago. When I had COVID, I about died from a heart condition generated. So I'm working at Little Caesars, and it's fairly busy all the time. And since I got sick with COVID, I can barely do anything else besides that. And
You've never had
I asked for a jury
on this, right?
Pardon?
You've never had an attorney on this, correct?
No, last time I asked for a jury trial and asked for a time to find a lawyer, and I didn't realize that the date had been set so short soon after that. And I just now got my information corrected in the system. Somehow they had the wrong number, and last time I had got my address fixed. So hopefully everything is smoothed out this time.
Well, the last time you posted a bond, you put down the address of 167 Central Avenue, which is the exact address that they sent the notice of the next court date to, because they would not have sent it to an attorney because you didn't have one. That was sent out on July the 23rd for a, July the 8th for July 23rd court date. And then obviously when you didn't show up, they issued the new warrant. They had, Judge George had declared a bond forfeiture and was and scheduled a show cause hearing on the 18th about whether or not you and Mr. Walker should be on the hook for the entire $1,500. Where'd you get arrested this weekend?
This weekend, just walking home from work.
Okay.
What actually after work? Yeah, I woke up Saturday.
No. What time of day did you get arrested?
Oh, it was in the morning. I got woke up to it.
They woke you up at your house and arrested you there?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said you were on your way home.
No, I'm sorry, I misspoke. The last time, the time before that, I was on my way home from work. But this very last time, currently, I got woke up out of my sleep. I just went to work. I missed work yesterday. I'm just trying to come up with the money and find a lawyer, or handle the case myself, which would take more time than I've been given if I have to prepare myself since I'm not a professional lawyer.
Well, Mr. Blessing, when I have a person in front of me who has a warrant for their arrest issued by a different judge, I will typically go ahead and defer to that judge because it's his case. He knows what he wants to do with it, and who am I to second guess it? Absent compelling reasons, obviously, it's not a universal thing I But to be honest with you, Mr. Blessing, nothing you've told me today convinces me that there's anything extraordinary about your failure to appear. So I'm going to defer to Judge George. When he issued the bond, when he issued the warrant, he set your bond at $2,000, which is what I'll set it at. Cashier your 10%, and I'll order that the hearing on September the 8th regarding the bond forfeiture be canceled. So that person should be getting most of their money back. But you'll have to post a new bond in order to be released. Now, I'm going to send this back over to Judge George's office, who will set it very quickly, because every day you sit in there in lieu of bond counts as 3 days for your speedy trial purposes. So if you want a lawyer, I strongly recommend you get an application down there at the jail. If you're not able to post your bond, they'll send it down here for you. If you are able to post your bond and you don't show up again, you're looking and risking it that it's full $2,000 next time.
No, I plan on making it, Your Honor.
All right. You have any other questions for Mr. Blessing?
I do. It was just my health conditions. That was the reason, sir. That's why I said I applied for assistance, which I traditionally have not applied for government assistance so that I can get on medication. What will the amount
Mr. Blessing, here's the thing. You can talk until we're finished with the arraignments. I've already made my decision. I understand you're not going to be happy about it, but again, I'm just simply deferring to Judge George. You can contact his office in writing and ask if they might consider reducing it. But for now, I need you to go with the officer, please.
Okay, and what's the bond amount?
$2,000 cashier to your 10%.
Or 10%.
Thank you, Mr. Blessing.
So starting with Wesley Barrett. Mr. Barrett, looks like you have a new possession of methamphetamine charge. It's alleged that on or about the 25th day of July, 2024 in Butler County, Kansas, you possessed an opiate or narcotic or a stimulant, to wit, methamphetamine, in violation of KSA 215706 AC1. That is a level 5 drug offense. If convicted, the sentencing range is 10 months up to 42 months with the Department of Corrections, depending on your criminal history. If you have 2-person felonies or more, you would be presumptive prison. If you have 2 prior felony possession charge, this third offense that you're charged with, if you're convicted, is presumptive prison. Count 2, you're charged with driving on a suspended or canceled license. First offense. It's a B non-person misdemeanor, minimum $100 fine, maximum $1,000, maximum 6 months in the county jail, convicted. You're also charged with trafficking contraband in the county jail that you entered into the jail without letting them know, or that you tried to bring into the jail, methamphetamine. It's what's referred to as trafficking contraband in a correctional institution. It's a level 6 non-person felony. So it's not on the drug grid, but it is a level 6. So the sentencing range is 17 months up to 46 months with the Department of Corrections, depending on your criminal history. Actually, count 3 is your base offense. It's the highest level in terms of imprisonment. if you have 2-person felonies or more, you would be presumptive prison if convicted of count 6. So that's non-person, it need not be person felonies. Excuse me. And that's it. You have 3 counts. Count 1, 2, and 3. Possession of methamphetamine, misdemeanor driving on suspended felony, allegation of trafficking. All right, I want to enter I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you since these are felonies. You're entitled to a preliminary hearing. Do you want to retain your own counsel or attorney, or do you want me to consider whether or not you qualify for court-appointed counsel?
Court appointed.
All right, Mr. Barrett, when is the last time that you worked?
I'm currently working self-employed for like 13 years now.
Okay, what do you do?
I just cut trees down.
What's the name of your company?
Trees and Scapes.
Did you file taxes last year?
No, I didn't actually work enough last year. Didn't make enough the last couple of years to file. I hadn't been working because I didn't have a vehicle, and I'm just now getting started up again.
How old are you?
36.
All right, I'm going to appoint Jim Watts to represent you. You can always hire an attorney of your own choosing if you desire. The judge assigned is Judge Hart. You won't have a court date with him until October 15th at 2:30. Mr. Regier appears on behalf of the state, and I would ask for your recommendation on bond. I don't believe any bond's been set in this case.
Your Honor, in addition to all standard conditions in this matter, the state is recommending 5,000 cash or surety. It is the state's understanding that this defendant does have a prior for diversion for multiple traffic infractions, as well as DUI, as well as prior misdemeanor vehicle registration convictions, as well as misdemeanor interference with law enforcement, as well as felony sale or possession with intent to sell hallucinogen. It is also the state's understanding that besides being recently convicted in a Butler County case within the last month, this is a defendant with at least 5 prior failures to appear, most recently also within the last month. It would also appear that pursuant to paragraphs 8, 10, and 11 of the affidavit, paragraph 8 would appear to refer to a certain body cavity lubricant being found inside the vehicle, and paragraph 10 would appear to refer to an incident where the defendant stood up while in custody, at which time an object was heard hitting the ground, which was determined to be a plastic baggie containing a white crystalline substance that weighed approximately 1 gram.
Okay. Anything, Mr. Barrett, you would like to say about setting your bond?
What's 500 or 5,000 cash surety mean?
Kind of a math question. I just want to know if it's fictional or a fact.
I mean, I gotta come up with 500.
Possibly. It's usually 10%, but I'm not sure.
Okay,
That's
I just wondered.
What they've charged.
I don't know. I really don't know what. I went through their X-ray machine last night. And they sat me in some chairs, and then when they took me to strip search me after the X-ray machine, I never was told that they found anything like that. Like this is the first I've been hearing that I even got a meth charge or anything like that.
Okay, I don't want you to say anymore. I want you to talk to Jim Watts, okay?
Okay.
Where are you living? Are you under the influence? You almost sound drunk, or like you're.
I just been sleeping all day. Sorry.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna set your bond at 5,000 cash or surety. no drugs, no alcohol, don't violate the law. You might want to try applying and getting a job somewhere. Maybe some more structure would be helpful for you. If you need to go in treatment, do that, but don't pick up any new charges between now and the next time that you come to court in front of Judge Hart, which is October the 15th at 2:30.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the way forward. Go ahead and state your full name.
Joseph Keith Reel.
All right, Mr. Reel, do you still live? Okay. The state's alleging 3 charges against you.
Okay.
One of them is a felony. 2 of them are misdemeanors. The felony is drug paraphernalia, possession or use. The 2 misdemeanors are disorderly conduct under the domestic violence statute and
Okay.
Prescription drug possession or use. That's a misdemeanor violation as well.
All right,
you have
sir.
the right to remain silent, right to counsel, and right to trial. I've scheduled you for a 2-part hearing, excuse me, on August 14th at 9 o'clock. The first part of the hearing is regarding the misdemeanor violation. So that's the disorderly conduct, domestic violence. You'll need to be prepared to plead either guilty, not guilty, or no contest to the charge at that date and time. Prior to you giving that plea, all the options will be explained to you. If you plead guilty, if you plead not guilty, or no contest, all of those options will be explained to you, as well as the penalty range for those charges. Regarding the felony, the felony charge, it's a preliminary hearing. That's the second thing. That's where the prosecutor or state representative is going to produce testimony and evidence to determine if there's probable cause to charge you with that charge of drug paraphernalia. If probable cause is found, the case will bind over to the Gila County Superior Court on that felony. If there's not probable cause, then the case would be dismissed and not go anywhere as there's not probable cause met.
Right.
If the case goes in front of a grand jury, which most likely it will, you'll be notified circle address that you do not need to appear in court for that charge. You
Okay.
still have the other 2 misdemeanors that you need to appear for, so regardless, you got to be here. Okay? Because
Not a
there are
problem.
two different processes, because one's a felony, one's a misdemeanor.
Not a
Your-
problem, sir.
Your release conditions are the following: obey
Got
all orders of the court. Do not commit any crimes. Notify the court immediately if your address changes. Do not leave the state of Arizona without permission of the court. Do not contact the alleged victim in any manner. Do not possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. And do not possess any firearms because of that felony allegation. Now, if you're convicted of it, you could become a prohibited possessor. So right now, the main one to focus on is not to contact the alleged victim. This isn't a permanent order, but this is as it goes through the court process. Unless that order is lifted by the victim, that remains in place. If you violate it, a warrant could be issued for you, or you could be arrested and your a bond set in place.
Right.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
man, she ran me over. I'm all set with that girl. I do not want to talk to her.
Okay. All right. So I know there's other pending things. You know that was stated in the officer's law enforcement thing that occurred. But that's just on the charges and what you're looking at now. Can you comply with those orders?
Yes, sir. No problem.
And you'll show up to court as ordered?
As ordered, sir. Not a problem.
Okay. I'll release you on your own recognizance. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. Thank you very much.
Yep. That'll be all then.
Going back that way.
All right. Hey, no,